You have exactly 150 slots in your brain for real relationships. Not 500, not 1,000, not your 3,000 Instagram followers. And here's the uncomfortable part: you've probably already filled most of those slots with people who don't deserve the space. Meanwhile, the people who actually matter are quietly getting pushed out, and you haven't even noticed. The strangest part? This number wasn't discovered by a therapist or a self-help guru. It was discovered by a scientist studying monkeys. In the early 1990s, anthropologist Robin Dunbar noticed something odd in primates. The bigger the neocortex, the brain's social processing center, the bigger the group that species could hold together. He mapped this relationship across dozens of primates, then extrapolated the curve to humans. The number he landed on was 150, not people you recognize, not people who follow you back, but people whose lives you actually track. Who they are, how they fit into your world, how they connect to everyone else in it. Cross that number and your brain simply can't keep up. Once you know this number, you start seeing it everywhere. Stop thinking of 150 as a friend limit. Think of it as a budget. Every relationship you maintain costs processing power. Your brain is tracking history, trust, status, and shared context for each person on that list. That budget doesn't grow just because your social life did. It's the same whether you're an introvert with 5 close friends or a CEO with 10,000 followers. Same neocortex. Same ceiling. And this isn't just a theory sitting in a psychology textbook. It shows up in the real world again and again in places you wouldn't expect. Hunter-gatherer clans across completely disconnected cultures and centuries consistently organized around groups of roughly 150. Ancient Roman military companies were built on the same number. And modern companies like Gore-Tex intentionally cap factory teams at 150 employees. Because past that line, people stop instinctively knowing each other, cliques form, and management structures suddenly become necessary that were never needed before. So if this number shows up in ancient armies, tribal clans, and modern factories, what does it mean for you right now scrolling through 200 followers on your phone? Means almost none of those connections cost your brain anything because they were never real to begin with. And that should sit with you for a second. Dunbar didn't stop at 150. He broke it into layers, like rings inside a target, each smaller and more intimate than the last. The innermost ring, 5 people. Your 3M crisis people, no hesitation, no explanation needed. Next, 15. Your close friends, the ones you'd trust with something painful or private. Next, 50. Good friends, people you'd invite to a major life event without thinking twice. Then the full 150, meaningful relationships, people whose actual lives you track, who they're dating, what job they just landed, whether their mom is doing okay. Everything past that is noise. Acquaintances, weak ties, people you technically know who take up zero real cognitive space until you try to force them into the budget anyway. And here's the part that should genuinely worry you. Every shallow connection you add a random follow, a silent group chat, a LinkedIn contact you added once and never spoke to again, doesn't expand your circle. It dilutes it. Your brain doesn't create new slots. It spreads the same 150 units of attention thinner, until even the people who matter most are only getting a fraction of what they used to. This is exactly why people with massive online followings still feel deeply lonely. The math doesn't care about your follower count. You can have an audience of 1 million and still only have 150 slots, and if those slots are filled with surface-level noise, you're running on the same social hardware as someone completely off the grid. Except worse. Because you get the illusion of connection, with none of the depth. So here's the question worth sitting with. Are you building relationships or just spending your brain's 150-person budget on people who will never actually make the list? The real flex was never how many people know your name. It's how many of them would pick up the phone for you at 3M, no questions asked. If that number feels smaller than it should, that's not a failure. That's your brain doing exactly what it was built to do. The only question left is whether you're spending that budget on purpose or letting it get spent for you. And in the next video, I'll show you exactly how to audit your own 150, how to find out who's actually earning a slot, and who needs to be let go, so the people who matter can finally get the attention they deserve.